Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use your Q&A button on our screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And this session is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/Illinois. And with that, I'll turn it over to our first presenter tonight, and that is University of Illinois Urbana Champaign.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Katie Wild. I'm a senior coordinator for transfer recruitment at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about the University of Illinois and our transfer process. I also have a colleague in our office, Fabian Zermano, here with me this evening to help answer questions that you might have throughout my presentation. So first and foremost, we are a transfer-friendly institution at UIUC. Each year we bring in about 1,200 to 1,400 new transfer students each fall, with an additional 200 to 400 transfer students joining us each spring. When transfer students come to UIUC, you're joining a really dynamic, diverse, engaged student body. We have about 35,000 students total, undergraduate students on our campus, really from all different walks of life and backgrounds. We are very much our state flagship institution, with about 75% of our students coming from the state of Illinois, but we have students from all across our state, all across the country, and all across the world. With over 150 different majors on campus as well, there's a lot of, again, students studying different things, passionate about different things, really involved on campus. So it's a really engaged and again, welcoming student body. Within our housing system, we don't require that all transfer students live on campus, but whether you're required to or not, we do have some really amazing options within university housing or private certified housing. If you're looking to have that experience living on a college campus and getting acclimated to UIUC, there's an opportunity to live with other transfer students within our transfer communities within housing. We also have living learning communities within housing dedicated to really providing you a space to live with students who share an interest that you have, whether that's academic or non-academic. We have a lot of resources available to help students prepare for the transfer process. A few of these are all housed on our admissions website. There's an entire section about applying as a transfer student, but to highlight the most important would be our transfer handbook. This is really our official guide to transfer. So this will show you for each college and each major specifically what is required of you in order to be a competitive transfer applicant. So the transfer handbook exists for every one of our academic programs, and it tells you what GPA and what courses you'll need to have done at your previous institution in order to be a competitive transfer applicant. Some of our programs have a long list of requirements. Some just have some recommended courses. So again, this can greatly vary based on what it is you're interested in studying at UIUC. And we do offer direct admission to your major of choice. So that is the handbook that you would need to look at, is for the major that you're most interested in. Our transfer guide is another amazing resource, especially if you're coming from a 2- or 4-year school here in Illinois. This is a more of a interactive tool where you're going to put in what you're interested in studying, what level you're interested in traveling or transferring in at, what school you're coming from, and it will show you exactly what the requirements are for your program. So it will tell you the course codes at your school and how those are equivalent to our course codes. So this can be very helpful to ensure that you're taking the right classes at your current institution. The open majors by term will show you which programs are or are not accepting transfer applications for each fall and spring. So most of our programs are open each fall for transfer applications. We do have more limitations when it comes to spring semesters. So if you're interested in our Geese College of Business or Granger College of Engineering, or coming in undeclared through our Division of General Studies, those programs only allow fall applications. But most other programs are open for the spring semesters as well. So just some things to take a look at dependent on when you're wanting to transfer to us. Transfer credit, Transferology is also another amazing resource to become familiar with and utilize. It will allow you to put in the classes that you've taken and see exactly how those transfer not only to our campus, but to other schools that you might be interested in as well. So again, these resources are all available on our admissions website in the section about applying as a transfer student. To talk about dates and deadlines, we again do allow applications for transfer in the spring or fall semesters. If you are interested in transferring for a spring semester, The application opens each year on September 1st. It's only open for a brief 6 weeks. It will close in mid-October. We do have rolling admissions for transfer students. So typically, as soon as we have a complete application on file, we're able to get a decision out within 2 to 4 weeks. So most spring applicants are notified of their decision in November or December. Fall application is a bit longer of a time period. So if you're interested in applying for fall 2022 or a different fall semester, the application will open in the middle of December. We have a priority deadline of February 1st. So if you're going to apply to something more competitive like business, engineering, or maybe a STEM related program, we encourage submitting an application before the priority deadline. Otherwise, the final application deadline is March 1st. And again, rolling admissions decisions. So typically by mid-March or early April, students are notified of their admission decision if you're applying for a fall semester. In order to have a complete application on file that's eligible for admission review, we need a few different things for you. So the most important is the online application. This is only available for transfer students on our admissions website. We have a homegrown application portal called MILA. That's where the transfer application is housed. We needed an application fee or a fee waiver. So for domestic students, the application fee is $50. If you're eligible for a fee waiver, you can have a current staff member at your current institution submit the fee waiver form that's available on our website to us, and we will waive your application fee. This will also waive the fee if you are admitted and choose to accept your offer of admission. We also need all college transcripts from any school that you've attended full-time as a college student for more than 10 days. This also includes dual credit coursework. So college transcripts we will need directly to our office, along with high school graduation proof. So if you completed the GED or if you have a final high school transcript, we need that to our office to verify high school completion. If you have fewer than 30 graded transferable credit hours at the time of application, we will also require an ACT or SAT score. So again, you'll be notified if we need this based on how many credit hours you have at the time of application. And then proof of English proficiency, if you did not attend all of high school and all of your post-secondary work here in the United States or another English-speaking country, you may be required to submit proof of English proficiency. And we do have a full policy about this on our website if you're in that situation and you want to look to see what those requirements might look like for you. Once we have a complete application, we will get started with reviewing your application for admission. So first and foremost, we review the coursework that you've completed and that you have in progress at the time of application. Again, based on the requirements laid out in the transfer handbook for your major, we're going to look to see that you have all of those classes completed or in progress at the time of application. That's the most important part of our review. We're also going to look at your college GPA, again, to make sure that it meets the minimum as laid out in the transfer handbook. We're going to look at your high school credentials, potentially only if you have fewer than 30 graded transferable credit hours will we look at your high school performance. We'll look at your essay. You're going to write an essay about the majors that you choose to apply to. And then we're going to look to see how you've been involved on campus. That's going to be a big part of a review process to make sure that you would be engaged on our campus. We do offer merit-based scholarships and need-based financial aid pending the application for admission and the submission of the FAFSA or free application for federal student aid. Students are notified of their financial aid package once they've been admitted to campus. We have an Illinois commitment program that provides free tuition and fees for students who have a family income of $67,100 or less. All you have to do to be considered for that financial aid program is apply for admission and be admitted and submit the FAFSA, and you would be eligible for that Illinois commitment financial aid package. Our office is always here to answer questions, so feel free to reach out anytime.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Concordia University, Chicago. Is Concordia University, Chicago ready to go? Okay, I think they are not here tonight, so we're going to go next to Indiana State University.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. All right, my name is Kim Lund and I'm with Indiana State University. And we wanted to go ahead and show you guys where we're located. We are considered West Central Indiana, so just a little over an hour outside of Indianapolis and right on the Illinois border. We are in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. This is what it looks like to come to Indiana State University. This is an outstanding mural outside our Welcome Center where students are welcome to come and take their I just visited Indiana State University photo. We are the right size university. We are about 10,000 students, which means we're large enough to have a full college experience. We offer 15 different Division I sporting teams, but we're also small enough that you can have a real individual experience here at Indiana State University. We sit on about 435 acres, so you can get from one end of campus to the other by walking in about 15 minutes. We offer over 100 majors. We have students from all 50 states in the United States and over 70 countries. As part of our transfer package, since this is for transfer students, we have what we call a transfer planning tool located on our Indiana State Transfer Students website. This transfer planning tool is designed to be self-service, and it allows students to take a look at the courses that they've taken and compare to see how they will transfer to Indiana State University. And the final product of using this transfer planning tool shows you what your full degree map will look like for the major that you plan to be studying when you come to Indiana State University. And I'll show you the difference, what's transferred in and what's going to count for what kinds of requirements. We'd like our transfer students to know that we do have an honors college and it is available to transfer students. There are some benefits to joining an honors college. Studies show that one of the #1 ways to ensure students persist through to graduation is to establish a sense of community. And an honors college for our high achieving students is one of those excellent ways of making that happen. Here at Indiana State University, we have an outstanding career center, and they do several things. First, they will help you find work while you are a student if you want to do so. Work can be either on campus or with our local institutions just outside of campus looking for part-time workers. They're very accustomed to working with our students and around their schedules. In addition, our career center is outstanding and linking students up with work or internships upon or after graduation. They do a great job with mock interviews. Your professional photos are included in your price of tuition, and they do help with resume writing. Here at ISU, you have the opportunity to learn directly from the PhDs who have work experience as well as a degree in the field, so they offer you an excellent source of contacts to help you find that work. And we also offer a full host of tutoring services. We have a math lab in the math building, a writing center for help with all of your writing needs in our library, and we have a center for student success to help tutor in all those other courses. We have over 18 different locations to find some great food across campus. We offer over 200 student organizations to also help you find that sense of community. And like all the schools you're looking at, if you don't see what you're looking for in our student organizations, you're welcome to create your own. And again, I mentioned we are a Division I school. This is what living at Indiana State University can look like. Our transfer students are not required to live on campus, but I draw your attention to the photo to the right. We do have on-campus apartments as well for students who don't really want to share a restroom with the other students like some of the freshmen do. We consider you to be a non-freshman transfer as long as you have more than 24 credits that you're transferring to ISU. Otherwise, there's a chance you'll be living with us on campus. We'd like for everyone to know that we do offer opportunities to travel abroad for our transfer students, just like we do all of our other students. We'd like to highlight some of the scholarships that we offer our transfer students. If you've been involved in Phi Theta Kappa at your previous institution, if you're part of Ivy Tech and you've been working on their accelerated associate's degree program, we offer a presidential scholarship to our transfer students, just like we do to our freshman student. And of course, we are a member of the Midwest Consortium. So you get some tuition breaks depending on which state you live if you're part of one of those groups. One thing that kind of stands out that's pretty neat about Indiana State University is that we have a website called The Branch, and that's one-stop shopping for all your scholarship needs at ISU. It's kind of like the common app for scholarships for ISU. I'd like to highlight that. I want to share with you what it looks like to attend cost-wise Indiana State University. And then we just have a real quick checklist for how you would apply. Obviously, as a transfer student, you can apply online, but one of the things that we will require is a copy of all of your transcripts from all of the colleges that you've attended. If you are transferring to us more than 24 credits, we won't require your high school transcript, but if you're transferring less than 24 credits, 24 or less, we will require that as well. Once you've applied, done your FAFSA, take care of your housing needs, to confirm your enrollment at Indiana State University as a transfer student, you simply sign up for our orientation program, which is called State Startup. If you get absolutely nothing else out of this presentation tonight, I need you to know my name. I'm Kim Lund. I am both the Transfer and Veterans Service Coordinator here at Indiana State University, and that is my email and my phone number. Feel free to contact me with all of your questions. And thank you for your interest in Indiana State University.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Cardinal Stritch University.
All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Hi, everyone. I am Samantha Messman. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions at Cardinal Stritch University. We are located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's actually just about 10 minutes north of downtown. So we have a lot in our area for students to do. We do not require our transfer students to live on campus, but there are many different housing options that will still keep you close to Stritch's campus if you don't want to live on campus. For our presentation, we are going to kind of just go over the admissions requirements and the different steps to and potentially enroll at Stritch. So our first, so the admissions requirements, we do require for all transfer students except for nursing students to have a 2.0 cumulative GPA or higher. If you have below that 2.0 cumulative GPA, you can appeal. There are additional steps, which I would suggest to reach out to the admissions counselor to learn what those steps are, if that is a situation that you are in. To also be considered for admissions, you need to submit official transcripts from all previous institutions. We get this question a lot, is what's the difference between official and unofficial transcripts? Officials will come directly from the school that you previously attended. Unofficial transcripts would come from you. We can use those for a provisional acceptance, which is something that I will go more into, but the unofficial documents, we will ultimately need the official for a full acceptance. For high school transcripts, we may require those if you have less than 12 credits for your at a college. So if you're currently attending a college and you're only enrolled in 12 credits, then we may still require your high school transcripts and the SAT or ACT scores to make an admissions decision. For the provisional versus the full acceptance, provisional is all official documents, or if all unofficial documents, sorry about that, but it's all unofficial documents is for provisional acceptance. We, as I mentioned, will ultimately need official documents to move you to that full acceptance. I mentioned earlier that the nursing admissions requirements are different than our other admissions requirements for other programs such as psychology, biology, chemistry, or business. So these requirements are specifically from the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. So we do require, we have two different options for the direct entry. We would require a 2.75 cumulative GPA and a TEAS, which is the test of essential academic skills with a score proficient. As you can see, we have a holistic option. With the holistic option, there are other requirements within that. We do still require the 2.75 GPA, but it's best to work with your admissions counselor to determine what other materials you would need, because those are specific to the individual student's situation. Again, we require official transcripts from all previous institutions, and high school transcripts, again, if you have 12 college credits or less, then we would still require your high school and SAT and ACT scores. For international students, we do also require an English proficiency test. If you have studied 30 credits or less at a school here in the United States, we would require that English proficiency test. The College of Nursing does also part of that TEAS. They will accept the TEAS as that English proficiency requirement. So for testing, we do have students that test for admittance. So the College of Nursing's testing does not fall under this, but we do have an AccuPlacer, which is will determine admissions, or it will also determine placement. So that the AccuPlacer that we use at Stritch helps to determine what college level math or college level English you would need to place into. However, not every student will need to test, as it says on my slides. Credit evaluations. Unofficial transcripts, if you send those to your admissions counselor, those are the best way for us to see exactly which credits are going to transfer into Stritch. That will give you the best idea of exactly how long the program will take you. We can even, depending on the program, create a unofficial graduation plan. Since we work very closely with our academic advisors in the admissions office, we understand the programs that you're going into and are able to give you an insight onto that graduation plan. As I mentioned, it would be unofficial, but we can give that to you, and it does help our students to determine if Stritch is the right fit for them. There are two different types of evaluations that we can do. The first one is through the admissions counselor. This is just a quick estimate. It's basically just looking at, yeah, it looks like we'll be able to take about this many credits, between 15 and 20 credits, or it could be more depending on how many credits you've taken. The registrar's office evaluation is going to be more in depth. It usually takes a couple of days to get back, and sometimes we do require the syllabi to determine if that course meets our requirements, but that is a more in-depth review. We do also have scholarships. As you can see, they range from 12,000 to 16,000, and then we have other scholarships as well. If you all have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I've included my information here on the slide, and we would be more than happy to talk to you more about becoming a Stritch Wolf.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Blackburn College.
Hello, hello. I'm going to share my screen. Screen 2. All right, hopefully you can see that. My name's Dr. Stephen Lambert. I'm with Blackburn College. I'm the Vice President for Inclusive Enrollment, and I appreciate everybody tuning into this broadcast, and even the other schools here. We have a lot of great options. In 6 minutes, I'm going to try to share the beauty of Blackburn here. I'm going to do my best to stay on time. I got my timer here, in fact. All right, so Blackburn College, a few quick facts. We're located in Carlinville, Illinois, which is honestly almost right between St. Louis, Missouri and Springfield, Illinois. We have a pretty vast campus. It's in a relatively rural area. So when you come to school here, you won't be bogged down by traffic. It's a pretty big campus, but there's plenty of parking, and students can typically walk, from building to building. We are a relatively smaller school in terms of our population. We have just around 500 students, which lends to a pretty personal academic experience. So your average class is typically 12 to 1. As a transfer student, you'll probably transfer in as an upperclassman, where those classes get smaller and smaller and more personal. So you might have a class with 5 or 6 students in it. And then we have a pretty fantastic placement rate within 6 months of graduation for a job or to continue your education. And I'm going to talk about why, or how we get there. Sorry. Academically, I know one of the one of the 3 questions you probably have as a transfer student is just, what do you offer? What can I do there? And we do have a variety of majors, given that we're a liberal arts institution. So I won't read through all of them, but sciences, humanities, social sciences. We do have some business. It's a pretty robust curriculum. So what's really unique about Blackburn, and you might not have heard this term, I hadn't honestly prior to me joining Blackburn, is we have a work program. And there are only 8 work programs in the country, and we're actually the only one in the entire nation that's student run. So in a nutshell, a work program is essentially, if you are a resident on our campus, you have to work as a member of our community, and you get paid for those hours. It's a set number of hours, and you get paid a tuition credit. If you want to commute, I know a lot of transfers like to commute as well. You can go either way, but if you commute, you still have that option. But basically, as a work college, everyone who lives on campus has a job on campus. We place you, we look at your experience as a transfer student. Given you might have some work experience, we're going to do our best to fit you in a spot, whether it's related to your degree or to something that you want to do. But it's a really unique experience, and that's part of what I was alluding to earlier. Once you graduate, you have work experience. There's a lot to do on campus. It's a pretty remarkable thing to see. In terms of tuition and fees, we tend to be at the most affordable end of the scale in terms of private institutions in Illinois. Our tuition is just over $25,000, and then you can add room and board at almost 10 more, so you can see the total is just over $34,000. And that's a sticker price, and I can tell you that hardly anyone pays that. In fact, I think we're on track this year to make sure that everyone who's at least full-time earns some kind of scholarship. So you shouldn't pay that sticker. Naturally, though, as a transfer student, especially, the higher your GPA, the more scholarship you're going to get. So we offer merit-based scholarships in addition to other institutional aid, and we want you to do well. We want to see you see how well you've performed since high school. Yeah, I kind of got ahead of myself here. So with the scholarships, they're GPA based. And yeah, naturally, the higher you are, the more money you'll get. I'll just kind of leave it at that, because we can go all day on just on financial aid. Campus life, several residence halls. Again, there's plenty of space to live, stretch your arms, hang out. We have a huge solar field array. We have a lot of unique aspects of campus. Student activities, again, outside of the work program. I can't play favorites here, but I do love our sustainability club. And even with the pandemic, it's hard. It is hard, and you guys know this as students. It's hard to be active, but we're doing our best, and we're really ramping up this fall, depending on the virus and the pandemic, to get these clubs up and running again. Students are really eager, and I'm sure you guys are too. So as a staff member, we have a lot going on, and I can't wait to have it vibrant again this fall. We are Division III athletics. Shout out to our men's soccer team, who did really well this weekend, and I believe our women's volleyball won as well. We have a robust theater and art program. We're looking to grow our program. So if you check out our majors and you don't see a particular any major, but especially in the arts, and that's what you want to do, I do think we're going to be expanding those programs. So you can reach out to us, and we can talk about maybe something that we'll offer a year from now, or even this fall. The application process here, what's neat is there's no fee, whether you're first year or a transfer student, and you can apply right on our website, blackburn.edu/application. This says submit your high school transcript, because I know our colleagues typically use this, but as a transfer student, you don't need that. We actually just need your college transcript if you've earned 15 credits or more. If this is your first semester, you've only earned 6 or 9, submit it, and we'll do a case-by-case basis. But the beauty of being a smaller school is that we can get to know you. And if you have any questions, the tail end here, feel free to reach out, admissions@blackburn.edu, because we'd be happy to learn more about you, learn your story, and help you get to the best place that you need to go to. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Murray State University.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. Having a little technical issue here. So I may have to just wing it, as they say, but I've got 25 years in the business, so I think I'll be able to handle that. My name is Allison Marshall. I'm the Associate Director of the Transfer Center at Murray State University. We're located in Murray, Kentucky, right there on the Illinois line, about 40 minutes from Illinois. And so we do have a very large population of students that come from the state of Illinois in those schools, both high school and from the community colleges and other four-year institutions in the state. And we recruit quite heavily in that area. So you can find us on your campus many times throughout the fall and spring semesters at your transfer fair. So look for us. We are a doctoral granting institution. We have undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral degree programs. We have approximately 130 undergraduate academic programs at the university. You can go to murraystate.edu/transfer and take a look at all of the academic programs that we have on site, and lots of different opportunities available. A few programs that we are most known for would be our Baron-Fiden College of Business. Our business school is rated in the top 5% in the country. We're also well known for our School of Agriculture that includes all forms of agriculture, horticulture, ag science, agribusiness, both in-house and online programs in those areas. And then we also, of course, have our veterinary technology and pre-vet programs, which are very popular, specifically for our Illinois community college students. We're also known for occupational safety and health. This Murray State undergraduate and graduate program is rated the #1 OSHA program in the country. And I'm a little partial to that because my daughter is a junior in the program and she absolutely loves it. So that's something to look into if you're interested in OSHA and those fields. We are a rolling admission institution for fall and spring admission. We do recommend that students begin the application process approximately 2 semesters ahead of when they wish to join us. So if you're coming in this fall, we would like for you to have started last fall or this spring to start the application process. If you're thinking of joining us in the spring semester, now's the time to apply. We want to get you admitted in time so that we can evaluate all of your coursework that you're going to transfer to us from all of the institutions that you've attended. And of course, we prefer those transcripts to come through the National Clearinghouse or Parchment Services. That's the most secure way to provide that information to us. We would have you apply for admission. There is a $40 application fee, but depending on the timeline, there are many opportunities in which we will waive that application fee. So we'll save you those $40. While I'm on that topic, we're actually going to have a promotion starting next week. So if you'll go to Murray State University's Facebook page and like Murray State's Facebook page, you'll see the advertisements running next week for our National Transfer Week. And we'll waive your application fee. So be sure and look out for that. Again, just providing us with official transcript, the application, and the fee if need be. We will process your application usually within a 2-week turnaround time frame. So it's a very quick response on our end. If you have questions with regards to how you're going to be evaluated or that coursework is going to be evaluated, you can always go to our articulation website. That's murraystate.edu/evaluate. So you would just then select the state and then select the school, and then you'll see a full column of how the courses have transferred over to Murray State and the exact articulation. So that's a very useful tool for all students, and I encourage you to utilize that. A couple of things that are really important for our students. We want to assist you in any way possible with regards to aid packages, and that can include both financial aid, which is need-based funding, and scholarships, which is our merit-based funding. February 1st is our scholarship deadline. However, if you do apply for admission after that timeline, you can still be considered for our competitive scholarships. It will just be in the form of a second round, and those are for the Academic Alumni Foundation Awards. But we do have 2 scholarships that are automatic. Those are the transfer scholarships. So specifically, if you are a transfer student with 3.25 cumulative GPA in 45 or more transferable credit hours, then you will automatically receive our $1,500 transfer scholarship. And that is renewable for a second year as long as you maintain that 3.25 GPA. We also have the Phi Theta Kappa scholarship. So if you are a Phi Phi Theta Kappa member at your current institution, you'll just need to provide us with a copy of your certification or initiation certificate. And then that will be another automatic $500 award. So you could come out with the automatic $2,000 scholarship coming to Murray State. And that's a great way to start things off. Traditional tuition fees for our Illinois students, we would consider you a regional student, and that would be $10,860 for the year. That's both the fall and spring semester for tuition fees. Housing would be dependent on whether or not you have met the criteria. If you have spent 4 semesters at your prior institution attending school full-time, then you'll be fully exempt from our housing requirement. If you have not been at the other institution for 4 years, then you will be required to live on campus for however long you need to meet that 4-semester criteria. So again, it just depends on the individual student as to whether or not you will have to live on campus. Also, one thing I want to make sure that you are aware of is that we do need to have your FAFSA on file if you're going to be receiving any type of scholarship dollars. You don't have to accept the financial aid, but you do have to have the FAFSA on file. And again, you can locate all of this information that I was speaking to on the murraystate.edu/transfer. That will take you to all pertinent information, all of the academic programs, admission criteria, and then also general information about support programs, our athletic programs. We are an NCAA Division I school, and there are also athletic scholarships available, obviously, for certain individuals. And that's something that we can talk about independently if you wish to reach out to us. So at this point, I think that I will open it up to any questions. Thank you, Lila.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Just double checking if anyone from Concordia University Chicago ended up joining us. Okay, so we have a little extra time here, so I'm going to ask all of our reps to pull up their video so we could do a little Q&A here. So that first question that I have for you all is if you would each share some advice you would want to give someone going through the transfer process.
I'll start. Just to really be prepared, our process here at UIUC is pretty prescribed based on the major that you're interested in, and we really try to make our transfer process as straightforward as possible, much different than when you apply as a freshman to our campus. So really just to prepare for all of our institutions, look at the resources on our website, get to know the requirements for different schools and universities, as we all do things differently. So I just say prepare ahead of time is that biggest piece of advice.
Yeah, I'll add on to that. You know, I think it's good to have an open mind. And if you're a transfer student who took especially developmental courses or courses that aren't necessarily in your major, you'd be surprised. A lot of us are going to take the credits that you've earned, especially at a community college. And so don't get down on yourself. Don't, even if you just found out what you want to major in, or even if you change your mind again, that's fine. Just keep an open mind, because we're all, for the most part, most of us are definitely going to take what you've earned so far.
And don't be afraid to examine majors when you take a look. A lot of us, we're universities, we offer more options than maybe what you've been looking at your previous institution. Don't be afraid to talk to your admissions counselors about what you actually want to do with your life. And we might actually know something about an even better major to support you in that, especially based on the coursework that you like to take versus that you don't like to take. There's many avenues to get to where you want to go. So be open to that. And definitely be open to creating a sense of community for yourself when you arrive. We offer transfer communities on our university. And just be open to the idea that you might have a little bit of a grade drop when you first come to your transfer school, regardless of which one you come to. And just know that it's not because you're not as smart as you were at your previous school. It's just because you're adjusting to a bunch of new stuff that all of those people who were freshmen at your new school, they went through their first semester as well. And if they tell you they didn't, they're lying. And just know, persist through that next semester and you're going to be just
I think one thing I'd like to share, and I'm sure all of the panelists would agree with me, is that it's hard to make a decision about where you want to go if you haven't actually been to the campus and seen the environment and got a feel for it and took a tour and talked to students and met with a faculty member and an admissions counselor or a transfer counselor. It's hard to make that decision if you don't have a real feel for the campus to know if this is the right fit for you. So I think that's an extremely important process, and you can apply for admission to multiple institutions, but you need to visit the campus and make sure that you're making the right decision for you. And obviously your family is a part of that decision as well. So.
And I would like to add on to that. It was actually what I was going to say, Allison.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. So just adding on to that would be, I know at Stritch, we offer students to come shadow a class. I know a lot of institutions offer that, and students don't necessarily always think to ask, well, can I shadow a class to see if this is the type of learning environment that would work best for me? We all learn differently, and what's the best way to see if that's the type of environment that works best for you? And the best way is to actually go and see those classes. I know even for, we're having students shadow Zoom classes right now, just so that way they can still embrace that and still get to see what that's like. It's not ideal necessarily for getting that on-campus experience, but it's still giving you some type of idea about how those instructors do teach.
Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing those pieces of advice. And thank you so much, students, for joining us. When this window closes, there will be a quick 4-question survey that we'd appreciate you filling out and providing any feedback. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so please sign up for additional sessions. And again, in about a week, you'll be able to find this recording and others at strivescan.com/Illinois. Thank you again to all of our presenters, and thank you to our students for joining us, and have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye.